Hi, this is a handwriting warm-up video. We're going to practice and make perfect one letter today. Make sure you have something to write on, like a piece of paper, a scrapbook, or maybe a mini whiteboard, and something to write with, like a pen, a pencil, a crayon. Pause the video and go and find those things now. Now that you've got your things ready, you can make sure your hands are ready. Put your pointer fingers up like this and bend them and straighten them a couple of times. Now link them together and push them away from you. Stretch your fingers a little bit. See if you can make a wave like this too. Oh, and the other way. Alright, I think we're ready now. Today when we're doing our handwriting, we want to write with our page landscape. So not this way, not portrait, because we'll run out of space really quickly. We want to do it landscape, and then we'll have lots of space to write across the page. The first thing we need to do is draw the margin down the left hand side. So that's kind of like the tree trunk. Like that. Then we're going to draw 3 lines or 3 branches coming from our tree trunk. So the way I get them to all be kind of equally spaced is I start with the one in the middle. So if you do the one through the middle first, then you look at these 2 spaces and you try and go in the middle again. So the middle of that space and the middle of that space. Then up in the corner, the top right hand corner, I'd like you to draw a little sun. It doesn't have to be big, but it just helps us to know which way our letters are facing. Last thing we need to do to set up our page is to draw our butterfly eggs. We draw our butterfly eggs right by the margin or the tree trunk, sitting on the branches, because this is where the butterfly in Casey the Caterpillar, the story, thinks that the eggs are going to be safest and not fall out of the tree. Pause the video so you have time to set up your page like this. I'm going to show you some pictures and listen carefully to the first sound to see if you can work out which letter we're going to practice today. Question mark, queen, quiz, quiet, quilt, quick. What sound do you hear at the beginning of all of these words? It is the the Q sound. So here we have our capital Q, which is made up of a large circle with a little twig through the side of it. And then our lowercase q looks kind of like a P. It's got a hanging stick, except the circle's on the other side, and it's got a little flick on the bottom. So this shape is the one that we're going to practice today, the lowercase q. The first shape we need to practice to make our letter Q is the open mouth shape. So remember, this is a small letter, it sits on the line, and we're going to start right by that butterfly egg. So starting halfway up, open mouth. Oh, that was a good one, sitting perfectly on the line. Remember, your open mouth shapes should be facing towards the sun. This is Casey the Caterpillar, and Casey the Caterpillar wants to eat all of the green leaves that are attached to this branch. So Casey's going to move this way along the branch, so her mouth is open that way. Alright, remember your finger spaces. Open mouth, open mouth. Now from halfway, I want you to do the open mouth shape, but you're going to close it all the way up to make kind of like a circle or an O. So starting in the same place, we go open mouth, and then we keep going and close up the circle. Open mouth. Now we're going to practice our hanging sticks. So this stick starts like a short stick halfway up, but instead of stopping when you get to the line, you keep going down to that next imaginary dotted line. So remember, there's that line there and that line there. The hanging stick joins the 2 together. So we've got hanging stick, hanging stick. Don't let it get too long or it won't leave you much space on that bottom line. Hanging stick. Okay, now we're going to try the flick. That's special to the Q. This doesn't happen on any other letter. So when you get to the bottom of the hanging stick, you're going to keep your pen on the ground and do a little flick or twig that goes upwards on the hanging stick. It's very small, it doesn't even touch that line. Hanging stick, flick, hanging stick, flick. Okay, pen pointer's ready and we're going to practice joining those shapes together. So we've got open mouth, close it up, hanging stick, flick. Let's try again. Open mouth, close it up, hanging stick, flick. Alright, let's do it on the page. Open mouth, close it up, hanging stick, flick. Just like that. Try and keep your pen or pencil on the page the whole time. It doesn't need to lift off. It's all just one flowing, fluid movement. Open mouth, close it up, hanging stick, flick. 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 Now we need to look at each line and choose our best shape on each line. So we need to remember what each shape needs. So an open mouth needs to be sitting on the line and only come halfway up. That one there is pretty good. A hanging stick needs to start at that imaginary dotted line, be nice and straight, go through the branch all the way down to the next imaginary dotted line. That one there is quite good. And then when we do the letter Q, we're joining all those ideas together. So the open mouth shape sits on the line, the hanging stick's not too long. I think that one there's my best one. Next part of the lesson is where we write a sentence with lots of letter Q's in it. I'm going to razzle bedazzle my whiteboard. You might need to do that too, or pause the video so you can find a space to write your sentence. Alright, tarting is turned on. I'm going to say the sentence 2 times and then you can have a go at writing the sentence. Are you ready? Quinn went quack, quack. Quinn went quack, quack. Let's start by reading our sentence together. Quinn went quack, quack. Now we need to make sure it's a super sentence. So we've got to have our capital letter at the beginning. We've got our capital Q here. It's also a capital because Quinn is the person's name. Let's check we've got full stop at the end. We do. And nice finger spaces between each word. Alright, let's count up our Q's, our lowercase q's. We've got one there and another one there. Look really carefully at your Q's and then have a look at mine. Make sure the hanging stick hangs below all the other letters in this word. The only other letter in this word that's not a small letter is the letter K, which has a tall stick up the top. Awesome work today with your handwriting. See you in the next handwriting warm-up video. Bye!